All right, I'm 365 Days of Horsemanship, day 84. Actually not too bad of a day today, to be fair. Tonight I'm gonna go and find my first book. I think it'll need to be. I am also toying with the idea there are a few DVDs that I'd like to watch. But I also just know that it's going to be harder to find the time to fit those in than it is up here, because I'm up here anyway. And I kind of feel like I'm, killing two birds with one stone, I guess. Because I can do flow, especially with Mia in her frozen eating place whilst I'm reading my book. And have that be something that works kind of okay. But I came up today, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. I definitely am still feeling quite generally emotionally plateaued in myself, I think. And so I came up to Lawrence first. And I asked a different question that I haven't asked before, because I wanted to start asking more questions. I've been kind of thinking a lot about this idea of dreams and goals, and I kind of thought that I knew what my dreams were, and then the more I think about it, the more I realize that I don't really know. I have a dream one day that, I'll be in front of an audience talking about something, but I don't know what that is yet. And I have an idea that, I'll have a website one day, but I don't really know what'll be on it. So yeah, I have a lot of ideas, but not a lot of substance in them. And then when I think about goals, medium-term goals, I guess, I'd like to be riding Mia. I really like to be in a place with her where we could just pick any clinic we wanted to do and go do it, because, we're just in a place where we just have a good, solid foundation of stuff where we can just go and accessorize and, try different things. So yeah. And then with Lawrence, I think my goals would be, I guess, that we could do in walk kind of basic gymnastics type stretching exercises. And I think there's two aspects to that. I think the first aspect is my own personal education on those exercises, and gaining kind of a greater understanding of that. And then so that I know kind of what I'm looking at, what I'm doing. And then on the other hand, there's, his willingness and ability. So I think today, the thing that I wanted to sort of the goal, today, short-term goal is, can I guess, yield his head, where I could bend his head or bend his neck around, and then potentially whilst his neck was bended at some point, ask him to move as well. And I'm not in that place where I could move with him now, but the neck is a good place to start, and we're definitely working on the when I move he moves thing. It's definitely slow, but it's coming. So I worked on that a little bit today, and actually it was interesting because, I would give him a little scratch, and then I would just literally try to touch his face with that intention, and he would take his face away, and I would just keep playing, keep touching, scratching, whatever, coming back, asking again. And actually, even though I didn't get to touch his face, there was some yawning. There's quite a lot of yawning, and it seemed quite interactive. So I was happy with that, because I think it felt like something to play with. It felt like something to go forward with. It felt like something to have. It was a really good moment of interest and curiosity. And I definitely had this feeling yes, I'm here every day, but the duration of my sessions is really short. You know, I'm not here for an hour every day with them, and definitely I could achieve more if I was. But I think that, firstly, I think I would get burnt out doing that at this point. And secondly, I don't have the time. And thirdly, I think the history tells me that it's very easy for me to make a mistake or get too task focused or do something for too long. And so I'm kind of staying in my safety zone at the moment, for sure, and not stretching my comfort zone in that way. But I also think I'm being quite experimental and quite creative, and I do think that there is some progress happening. So I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. I think there's also, you know, something to be said, I guess, for, you know, not running before we can walk. And I definitely feel like I've been that way for a long time. And there's definitely this like outside pressure I've been thinking a lot about the last few days, that I just feel like I've been working with horses for a really long time, and I don't feel like I am where I wanted to be with them. And I never really feel like I quite get it, or like it's quite right, or like that there's something I'm missing somehow, or that I don't know what I'm doing. And I definitely think that working through that, getting past that, definitely needs to be a goal. Really building that confidence in myself and my own abilities. And I think that can be really challenging, because I think the external environment can be really easy to have that. It can be very easy if your confidence is already fragile to lose it over and over again. And I think that I need to start proactively building my own confidence. I think that's something that's really important for me. And I think that the way through that is education, and learning and knowledge, and feeling confident in my actions rather than that, I'm just experimenting. And actually, I do have a lot of resources available to me that I've just never used before. All these books and DVDs and everything that I have that I've just never taken the time to go away and watch or read. So I think that that's definitely somewhere that I need to start. I'm kind of excited to take you guys along with me on that, to be fair. Yeah, so I had this nice session with Lawrence. It was short, and I noticed the shortness, but it was good. So I think I just need to, just keep cracking along with it and kind of see where we get to. Went to Mia, and I kind of had the same feeling, where I wanted this little bit of interaction, and I wanted to see, I guess, what we can build, what we can do together while she's recovering. And I ended up working a little bit just on playing, really. Like a lot of playing around her head, and a lot of like playing around, then itching, and then a little bit of this, so she's quite mouthy, and so I'm like playing with her mouth, and then it's like, oh, one little yield backwards, and then that's nice, and then we do something else, and then something else, and then like a little yield backwards from her nose, and then we're doing something else and something else. So it felt nice, it felt interactive, and again from her, lots of yawning and interaction, some massaging as well. And definitely today, I think for the first time, she asked the question with the massaging, where she was like, oh, can you massage me here? And I was like, yeah, sure. And that was really great to see her really interact with that, really engage with the massage process, because I think that's something that could be really powerful for her if I always have this button that I can press, or I can do something that makes her feel good. So that was good too. I definitely think there is stuff that I can be doing with this time period. I think it's very easy, to be frustrated on what you feel that you've lost, or what you feel that you can't have right now. But actually, I think I am in a situation where I do have other things that I can focus on with the horsemanship, with regards to the horsemanship. And I think I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be what I need. I think I'm moving in the right direction towards dreams and goals. I think I was surrounded before with an abundance of opportunities to just play with horses and be with horses and experiment with the horses. And I think now I feel like my opportunities to actually spend time touching these real horses is reduced, and my timescales for progression have significantly increased, because Lawrence is like super slow anyways, because we're all about the freedom with him, and then obviously with Mia now things need to slow down a lot again as well, and I think that, you know, it's okay to say, do you know what, I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna do this thing that I always said I was gonna do and I've never done, which is actually sit down and go through, you know, the vast library of things that I've collected and purchased and, you know, just, I don't know, invested in throughout my time, or people have, you know, given me or bought me, or for birthdays or Christmases, whatever. And actually, you know, I really ought to use these items. There's like a whole wealth of knowledge sitting on my bookshelves that I've not tapped into, and I need to do that now. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. I will take you guys along for the ride. I'm not sure in what format, I guess. Yeah. So we'll see. We will see. You can see the horses just eating behind me in this lovely evening. So yeah, we will see what it brings.